Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with the review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 16. So we back in the studio, you guys. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So, yes, we are still on the Eastern Shore. And, they're in the van. And they're pulling up to the house. And Wendy tells them that dinner is going to be at 7:30 p.m. And we are still GVO. So everybody is in the house and everybody is getting stuff done. Ashley is making bottles for the baby. And Gizelle and Robin are talking about how hard it would be to add a bathroom just right there next to the room that they would have been in. It would have been so easy. Candace is getting herself made up. Karen and Uncle Jessup are getting themselves dressed. Gordon and Mia, they are all trying to get themselves together for the evening festivities. Wendy is overseeing everything, of course, making sure that the caterers and everybody else has everything in place. And then once everybody is together, we all go down and meet down in the the kitchen area. So while everybody's just kind of standing around, we hear Karen say, "Are you guys ready for a crab boil?" Yeah, they come marching in the room. Okay, elderly style. like it's a Soul Train line. Everybody's just like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Honey, Uncle Jessup, honey, he done got a special pep in his step." What Karen did to Uncle Jessup, y'all? "We are coming in doing an electric slide backwards, okay? We are celebrating 25 years, and a lot of people don't make it that far." Gizelle, that's not funny. "So we are going to celebrate, and y'all are going to let us have our moment." So like Karen said, they're having a crab boil, okay? And Wendy has them all gussied up and everything. And then they go outside, sit outside at the table, and it's all very elegant. And yeah, it's a crab boil. I was just like, y'all better than me, because listen, them crab boils be so messy. That shit be popping and flying all over the place. You got on your nice, pretty clothes for that shit to get all over. You're going to be smelling like seafood. Like whenever I have Mr. Makes crab boils often, and whenever I got to be in just like a t-shirt and some jeans, honey. This is work that we fixing to do. We ain't got time to be sitting around here looking cute. But it must be cold, because Wendy had already told them that they could take a blanket out there. But then when a scholar was sitting down and they were like, "Girl, you look like the Grinch who stole Christmas." Child, I almost died laughing. Scholar didn't care shit. I wouldn't have cared either, because when it's cold, baby, you got to do the best you can. I hate being cold. It's the worst. That's why I understood when Gordon was out there eating, and he was just like, "Nah, it's a little too cold for me." Okay. So yeah, Gordon goes inside, and everybody else is just sitting there at the table. They just kind of shooting the shit. Karen mentions to them, "When you get your invitations to the party, open it outside." Outside, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be one of them damn bugs in the box." I hate them kind of invitations. I don't know why people think that we like that stuff. Then they ask Eddie if him and his mom are better, and he says that they are getting a little bit better. I guess they did finally speak. That they didn't, I guess their family don't really get along with Wendy's family. Remember, we saw that play out last season. So now he's saying, yeah, they have reached out, and they are, baby steps. Wendy wants them to create new memories. The family's already missed quite a bit of each other's lives. Mia said that she can relate, with all the work that her and her mom has done. It gives her hope that, things will be indeed better eventually. So anyway, while they're sitting around talking, Gordon comes back, and he got that special twinkle in his eye. he still is fucking with Ashley and the fact that she was asleep on the bus. And Gizelle was just like, "Was there like a misunderstanding? Because she told you that bothered her when we were on the bus, and now here you come teasing her still about the about the sleeping thing." And he was like, what sleeping thing? And they were like, "You don't remember? You wouldn't leave me alone on the bus?" Ashley was asking him, and he was like, "What?" And she was like, "On the bus. You don't remember?" He was like, "What bus?" "Earlier today. You don't remember what's going on here? Do you have amnesia? Do you have Alzheimer's?" Mia was just like, "Okay, below the belt." All right. It's so funny. Mia said shit, and then she wanted. So, Ashley was just like, "What?" And, she was like, "You being married to somebody that's older should know that saying something like, do you have Alzheimer's? That's not cool. And, Gordon's like, you don't have to speak for me. You don't have to protect me or anything. And, he just tells Ashley, I was just playing. I was kidding around. Well, Gordon, I guess Ashley wasn't in the playing, kidding around mood, Still, Mia is still like, you just ain't right doing shit like that. Ashley was just like, he won't leave her alone, so sometimes these things happen. So they get into a kind of a back and forth, Candace is sitting between them, and she was just like, Ashley thinks that she could just say whatever and that Mia's just going to, sit around and take it. She was like, Mia's too big to sit around and take it. So I was cracking. She was like, it's like a tennis match, just watching them, go back and forth, like, oh, ooh, girl, what? I was cracking up. Why is this fucking light on? Is the damn door not closed? So then while they're going back and forth, finally Mia says, where is your husband? She was like, at home with our kids. And she was like, are you sure? She was like, what? Yes. But everybody was just like, oh. It was perfect timing. And that damn Ashley was so molded. She didn't know what to do with herself. And, even Gizelle and Robin kind of felt bad for her because it was a good question. Mia was just like, bitch, you so fucking tired to take your ass home, okay, with your kids out here trying to have fun sleeping the whole time. Now, while all these shenanigans are going on at the table, we see Wendy and Eddie and Karen, they've walked off to the side, and they've got a surprise for Uncle Jessup. Okay, Uncle Jessup said he wanted a woman in the cake. Okay, and so we put Karen in the cake, and I was just like, this is so corny. Don't nobody care about this. And plus, we already know what's going on here. It ain't like it's a surprise. Here they come carrying the cake. Karen inside is Eddie and Wendy. Now, where the hell is Karen? Of course, we know she's the cake. Oh, Uncle Jessup, we got a surprise for you. Okay, you said you wanted a woman in the cake. He was like, is she naked? Underneath her clothes, she is, yes. And so they knocked the thing open, and she's like, surprise, baby. I was just like, girl. And everybody is sitting there just like, oh, like this is really just fun for Uncle Jessup and Karen, Wendy maybe, Eddie got pulled into it. But I was just like, what was the purpose of that, child? That old rinky-dink cake? And I mean, I guess a tee-hee-hee, ha-ha-ha, whatever, okay? But then the dinner is finished and everybody goes inside for the night. How would Wendy rate herself as a hostess? She said 10s across the board. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay? Because she had to be a chef and a host, and, she had to make sure everybody was okay. She had to deal with these old spoiled-ass kids that's upset that they ain't got a bathroom to pee in, okay? Robin says that Wendy was the most horrible hostess ever. I don't think that she was the most horrible hostess. She just wasn't dealing with Gizelle and Robin, so, oh, well, a little bit of taste of their own medicine, so I know I had a blast on the trip. This was some good TV these last couple of episodes. So anyway, they make it back to Potomac, and everybody is doing what everybody does. Wendy and Candace are together talking about the trip. Candace was like, that Gordon is a grade A lunatic. And then speaking of Gordon, we see Gordon and Mia talking about it, and Gordon was just like, look, it's been a damn pandemic since March of 2020. I told y'all I was gonna have myself a good damn time while I was out there, and looks like Gordon did. Anyway, this invitation business, again, very corny, very lackluster. It's just like, don't nobody want this. Everybody gets their boxes, and they were like, okay, she said open it outside, so everybody already is just sort of like, ah! And child, when everybody opens their boxes, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. The only one who looks like they actually have a nice box of butterflies is Mia, okay, who's in the penthouse, ironically. Everybody else, theirs is like, the colors of the butterflies ain't that nice. Some of them are dead. Like, it's just like, and why you got these poor butterflies captive in this box just for your own, invitational pleasures? Child, is so cruel to the poor butterfly. So, they open it. Everybody was just like, is it dead? Some of the butterflies just come out like this. I was just like, child, anyway. That was Karen's big surprise. Like I said, Mia's is the only one that's nice, and she kind of lets hers out on the balcony so that they can go fly. Now, speaking of Mia, it seems that her and Gordon had a big falling out with the mama, all right? Because I guess when they got back from the Eastern Shore, then it was their 8-year anniversary, and they were going to have a quick little vacation, not really going too far, like a staycation. And right when they got gone, I guess the mom was calling Mia all the time, because every time the kids would do something, she would be calling Mia. And finally, Gordon was just like, why do you keep calling Mia? We are gone somewhere. Like, we are trying to enjoy ourselves. Like, you can't handle it? Okay, so then Gordon and the mama got into it evidently. And so Mia, they had only been gone a couple of hours, turns around and goes back to the mom to get the kids. And so when they get back there to get the kids, then the mom goes off on Gordon in person in front of the kids, and it gets to be this big thing. And you could already tell that Gordon looks like he is the type that will argue with a fucking woman. He don't care. Okay. Actually, he said that he didn't get into any disrespectful back and forth with the mom. He just let her say whatever she was going to say because the kids were right there. And, Mia said even with all the steps that they take forward, something always happens and knocks them right back to square one. So she kind of feels like that's where they are now. Coming over to Gizelle, we see Gizelle out with her girls. They are at a nursery because they are looking at plants, landscaping for their new home that they actually love. I was like, listen, if y'all like it, we love it. Okay. It's finally coming together and the girls are happy with that, anyway. We keep on having these same conversations with Gizelle and the girls, and I can appreciate it. I mean, it's always good to get clarity between you and your kids, but it's just sort of like they done already told you that they don't see you in relationships, that you a mean-ass bitch, that you don't have no feelings, that you are emotionally unavailable. I mean, how many times we got to say this to Gizelle for her to finally get it? The girls love their mom. That's why we love the girls. The girls keep it 100 for real with their mama. And we appreciate that because Gizelle gets on our nerves so much that the girls kind of give us that other, at least we know that it ain't just us. Okay. So the girls keep it real with her. And, they tell her, she was telling them that Karen is having this party. Should she take a date? And they were just like, like who you going with, basically. You don't even give no man no chance. And, every time something happened, so they was just like, girl, I guess. It would be nice to see him with somebody. They were like, we don't want you to die alone. She said she's casually dating. And they were like, that's just because you don't want to be bored, but you ain't trying to really be with nobody like that. So again, the girls kind of let her know that they don't really see her in a dating role. So they can't really look up to her or their father in that way because they've been here as long as they've been here. Both their mom and their dad have kind of bounced around. Nothing has ever really stuck. They tried to throw that farce on us last season and, that we wasn't really buying that. And so, they was just like, we don't really see you and dad that way. So you guys aren't like our role models when it comes to something like that. And that kind of made Gizelle feel bad. And then when they told her she was emotionally unavailable, she was just like, wow, I didn't realize it was this bad. They were like, it's not that bad. We used to it. Okay. But we just telling you again. And Gizelle said she would work on it. So she goes and sees her therapist, the same guy that she's been seeing all the years. And, their goal was to work on Gizelle being more vulnerable. So we're still working on that. She tells him that the girls told her that she was emotionally unavailable to them. And she doesn't want it to be that way. She tells him about how her and Jamal got back together. And he was just like, now why did you guys do that? And he was like, because, he just seems like all of a sudden he respected me. We were seeing eye to eye. That's all it took for them to make it back to each other. But yeah, it didn't really work out that way. And listen, she wants to be with a man. She just doesn't want to have to answer to a man. And he was just like, well, that's a part of being in a relationship is like you guys answer to each other. It's called being accountable to one another. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to be telling him all your business and he has to tell you what to do. Okay. But it's the respect part of being in a relationship. So he tells her what people have been telling her for years, that maybe she needs to share herself more, get your walls down, open yourself up more, okay? Make yourself available to people so that they can feel some sort of connection with you, especially your girls. Because he tells Gizelle that when she does let down her walls, that the beauty of Gizelle, the essence, the eau de Gizelle is right there, okay? So you just need to open yourself up more and just be more accommodating and things like that. Not accommodating. That's not the word that he used. More, just be more open. Then we see Wendy and her mom. Okay. They taking pictures together. They're all dressed alike. Actually, it's 3 generations. It's Wendy. It is her mom and it's her baby. They're dressed in the same Skims terry cloth, their terry line, the robe, the shirt, tank top, and the pants. And they're going to take pictures for Wendy's home essentials line. Okay, she's got the candles. She's named them after her mother and her daughter because those are her biggest inspirations. But child, we sit down and to do this photo shoot, and turns out that Wendy and her mom have a very interesting conversation about how each other saw, you know, the childhood and growing up. All right, Wendy is just talking about like passion and things that you really want to do as opposed to things that you have to do. Being a Nigerian child, you know, the parents say they want you to be a doctor, or they want you to be an engineer. That's what you be, even if that's not what you wanted to be, you know. And so, for instance, him taking the pictures is the engineer, okay? And who would have ever known that, you know, he's an engineer, he's a photographer, you know, now that that's what he really want to do. He got his degree for his parents or whatever. So they're talking. Wendy is talking to her mom and saying how she just does things a little differently. You know, her son, something happened with her son and it was her fault, and she actually apologized, you know, and was just like, I'm sorry. And she was like, I realized that, you know, you never said I'm sorry about anything. And the mom was just like, what? You are lying. I always said I'm sorry, you know. When I come home from work, I'd be gone all day, and I come home and I say, I'm so sorry. I was looking at that mom. I was like, girl, you lying. You don't look like the type to even say something like that. And Wendy was just like, what? You never said. So, child, that mom got upset because she was just like, you ain't fixing to be lying on me or making me feel bad in front of all these people, these cameras and everything. That you know good dang on well I was a good mama to you. And Wendy was just like, no, we're saying, though, is that you never said those kind of things. And so the mom was just like, you know what, I'm leaving. And Wendy was like, you don't have to leave. And she was like, yes, I do. Because I'm going to cuss your ass out if I say I was cracking up. Honey, that mama has a whole new different version. I believe Wendy's version is probably a little bit more accurate, but that mom had a whole other version. She was just like, no, honey, she was sweet as pie. And then lastly, you guys, we see Ashley. She goes to see her therapist and she has the baby with her, and she's just talking to the therapist saying how, you know, she still has an issue with you know, leaving the kids. If it was up to her, she would always take the kids with her everywhere. It's hard for her. And the lady was like, yeah, but you have to be able to have time for yourself as well. So it's okay. As long as they're safe, it's okay. You can leave them for a little bit of time. We get to talking about her and Michael, the relationship, the fact that Michael still doesn't want to have sex with Ashley, you know, that now you know that Michael, we all know that Michael has a high sex drive, and it's kind of strange that he doesn't want to have sex with her. She said last time when she had the first baby, around this time, the age of the first baby is the same as the age of this second baby, when he just really did not want to have sex with her, and she found out that he had been cheating. So she's kind of concerned, you know, she got a good cat eye on him. Like, are you doing something again? Okay. Do I need to be worried about this? So she's not really sure what to think about it. So the therapist is trying to help her figure out, you know, how to make it back to the intimacy with her husband. Okay. Not just physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy, all of that. Okay, so trying to be romantic again. That is what the therapist has tasked Ashley with. Okay, try to be sexy, try to have a romantical night and whatnots. So later on we see her. She pulls up to a really nice hotel. It's supposed to be like, you know, just the place to be. It's on the water. You know, it has great views. She loves the room. And she tells us that Michael used to own this particular hotel. I said, okay, come on, big money. I don't know what it looked like when Michael was there, but that location was still very good, you know, when he had it. But so she gets herself all gussied up in her cheetah, leopard, you know, whatever dress. Looks cute, you know, and has Michael come. And these scenes are always real uncomfortable to watch because it's just like you trying to have this romantic night, you know. And she always be like, come on, be careful. Okay, gentle. You know, she always says these like porno words, and it makes it even worse. She asked him, you know, are you okay with being here, being that you used to own it? You know, Michael's like, no, he's fine. He's fine. So we sit down and she gives him some food and drink, you know, and they're all like, oh, this is really nice. Oh, you like this? You know, all this. We're trying to force this sexy. It probably would be sexy if we could have some music on. We didn't have all these damn people in the room, and, you know, with Michael being like, oh, okay, thank you. Yes. You know, all this was weird. real quick, while they're sitting there talking, they talk about Karen's party coming up and how, you know, everybody is going to be there. So she really wants Michael to come, considering Michael hasn't been anywhere for the whole season. She was like, Uncle Jessup is going to be there, of course, with Karen. But she tells him about Gordon. You know, there's Gordon and then there's G. That's Mia's husband, you know. So depending on who you meet, it can go either way. You know, he says, well, I'll be cordial to him. You know, I'll say hello to him. And then he was like, of course, I don't want to have anything to do with that idiot Chris. And she was just like, well, surprisingly, Chris said that he would like to have like a relationship with you. And he was just like, yeah, but his wife says all kind of like shit, you know, about my wife. Like, why would I want to even try to go there? Like, no, I don't want to deal with them. You know, I'm going to be there. Juan is going to be there. You know, I want to be around Juan. You know, why would I spend my time with Chris when I can spend all my time with Juan? And all of a sudden he gets into that blind kind of allegiance, halfway stalkerish, very strange feelings that he has for Juan again that always makes us just be like, what? Why does he like Juan so much? I mean, Juan is probably cool and everything, but the bromance that they have is just so weird. Of course, we never hear Juan talk about it, but Juan always partakes when he sees Michael. You can tell they have a good ass time together. So he's going on and on, about to be on a tangent. She was just like, okay, baby, okay, I'll be right back. Like, shut up. Okay, let me do this. She gets the blindfolds, and then, you know, she's about to do whatever and kissing, and they're kissing, and it's just like all these quiet, yeah, okay, come on, you want to go with me? You know, he's, oh, you look so good in that dress. And I was just like, oh, Lord, this is just really too much. So they go up, thank God, and go in the room and close the damn door. We don't need to see no more. I guess we could leave it to our imagination. Michael probably go in there and go to sleep. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I have to be on Zoom in like 5 minutes. Okay, make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.